In the United States, CPS makes upwards of $3 billion per day on trafficking and selling our children. The corruption may start with the caseworker, but goes through the judicial system, passing the governor through the Senate and into the White House. The entire system has a hand in the business known as CPS.
Our children are stolen every minute of a 24-hour day. They are being robbed of their innocence, their trust, their happiness. As parents, we are isolated and betrayed by a government we trust. States are balancing budgets on kids' lives. Only 12% of the kids taken will be reunified. Title IV funding is being riveted with fraud.
We need to stop CPS and abolish CPS.com is leading the way. Join us.
In the heart of our great nation, where the strength of our communities is built upon the foundation of strong and loving families, an urgent crisis is unfolding. Child Protective Services, CPS, an institution designed to safeguard our most vulnerable, has in many cases betrayed its noble mission. Too often, families are torn apart not by neglect or abuse, but by systemic failures and corruption. We can no longer stand idly by as these injustices continue. We are here to give a voice to those who have been isolated, to shine a light on the corruption, and to rally our fellow citizens in this critical fight for justice. Every day, countless families are caught in a web of bureaucracy and abuse of power, their lives disrupted and their bonds shattered. Children, who should be nurtured and protected, are instead placed in situations that can be just as, if not more, harmful than the circumstances from which they were taken. Parents, often bewildered and powerless, face insurmountable odds as they fight to reunite with their children. This is not the America we believe in. We cannot allow these injustices to persist. Our mission is to educate, to inform, and to inspire action. We promise to bring you daily updates on CPS, exposing the truth and fighting for reform. We must remember that the future of our nation depends on the strength and unity of our families. By standing together, we can hold CPS accountable and ensure that it fulfills its true purpose: protecting children and preserving families. This is a fight we must not and will not lose. We are committed to saving our families and securing a brighter future for all. The road ahead is challenging, but with your support, we can make a difference. Together, we will bring hope to those who have lost it and ensure that justice prevails. Let us unite with unwavering resolve and a sense of patriotic duty to safeguard the integrity of our families and the future of our nation.
Good evening, everybody. It is Saturday night. We're starting a little bit early, which is good because usually I like to start about 7:30, so I'm starting right in between. So we're on cue for tonight. Even with my videos being played for the start. But this is CPS Talk with Vinny. And I have my other co-host with me down below, Mr. Herbert. Good evening, Mr. Herbert. Good. How are you, sir?
I was listening carefully to, what's her name, Amy or Wendy from Ohio yesterday.
Yeah, Amy Wemsley. Yeah,
Amy, okay.
and Jamie
And
and
which
Jamie's story.
was saying, what Amy was saying was, it's not so much CPS, it's the judges. Remember,
Uh,
CPS can't do anything without a judge order when they
okay,
come to your house. Right?
right. Thank you,
CPS
Gail.
can't do anything
Gail.
unless they have a judge order.
Right. So it's you're breaking up in and out, Herbert. I think I lost him.
Can you hear
You
me?
keep breaking up. Yeah,
All right.
you're like in and out.
Okay, let me try something.
I think it's where you're sitting, Herbert. Once you go far enough away from your box, that's when your service drops. Just so you know, especially if you're running Wi-Fi. And the platform actually does kill your phone's data quite a bit when you're on here. I noticed that. It does lag it out a bit.
How about now? Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, you're clear. Crystal.
Okay. What I was saying to you is the more I think about it, it's not CPS. They're part of it. It's the judges. They're the main part.
Yep, and then it's
Because
the AGs right after them.
yeah, yeah. But most of the decisions and what you go to when you go to court, who do you see? A judge.
Yep.
And a judge can override CPS. CPS could say, "Oh, we want to take the child." The judge says, "No, you're not taking the child."
But see, this is what I found, and you know, when I'm getting somewhere in my case, and I know I am because on the CPS world, it's gone a lot quicker than the criminal side of the world. And the fact that I've uncovered so much within my own CPS case, I have a feeling that
Would you please tell Tammy my name is Herbert?
you just told her. I don't even have to tell her. You just told her.
No, I'm saying you tell her because she's not listening to me. It's offensive. It's offensive to say Chief Zulu. My name is Herbert.
Eddie's retired, guys. You can't give Herbert a hard time. He has been on this show longer than I have, and he's been right here fighting alongside us. And he is digging into information. He has been growing knowledge on what's been going on. and he's starting to understand why we're all fighting this fight.
Now, if they don't want me on the show, I'll leave.
No, you don't gotta believe. But guys, it's incredible what you can discover once you're going back through all of your files, like all of them, from the start of your case, from when they first contact you, all the way down through emails, anything, any kind of contact. Keep revisiting it, because the more you listen to it, the more you catch on to the actual what's going on. It's all within your case file. You can catch it, and you can have it called out to light. There is appropriate channels to go through to have it brought to light. And as we, the people, we have that right. And if they won't hear us, we go to the next person in higher command. If they won't hear us, the next, and up and so the ladder. You got to realize when this nation was founded, it was founded on we the people, not we the government. If it was founded on the government, don't you think that the government would completely rule us completely? And most of us would probably be in jail by now, or even dead. Think about that. They know that we the people are speaking out, and we're raising our voices. And from what we've seen in Oklahoma, the voices are being heard, especially with what they got for a petition. I mean, that's amazing. That bill, imagine if we did have all 50 states to the point where a caseworker fraudulently messes with a file, or they kidnap your kids, then they could be held as felons. That is tremendous, guys. That is tremendous if we could get that stateswide. I don't know if some of you heard, but Darren had a little bit of homework for me and the Angry Citizen on the main show today. All three of us that hosted that show today have to look up one statute or law that affects a child. And we have to say what it is on the next Saturday show. So make sure you guys are staying tuned to the main show, because we do some interesting things on that show. And that's just for us in Maine, usually.
So that statute of law has to be something negative against a child?
Yes. Yep. So I'm going to be following through that this week, probably. And then I'm going to write it down. What I usually do is I have like a notepad going on my phone. Every time I see something or I'm reading something, I'm jotting it down in my notepad on my phone. That way I can go back and look at it and look it up and see what it says. So I'm researching upon researching upon researching. And looking up the definitions.
I don't want to beat this to death, but I want to say this. There is an actual meaning to Chief Zulu, and it's negative, and it's not complimentary at all. It's offensive to me. That's what I'm trying to say to you, Tammy. It's offensive to me. I know what Chief Zulu means. Go on, Vinny.
Yeah. Debbie, have you seen the Oklahoma bill? Have you gone on and actually? If not, I can send it to you, Debbie. I have the Oklahoma bill that they're trying to get in office, and it is a powerful bill, and I mean powerful. that might be something you could start getting out to the people that are having problems with CPS in your area to help this guy get that bill. You know, that that's one hell of a bill. I was reading it yesterday. I was reading over what was in it. And the fact that they have in there that any caseworker who kidnaps your kid would be charged with a felon. Do you know how many cases in the United States, if they made that nationwide, how many of these caseworkers would be sitting in jail? It'd be a lot higher than the number of parents sitting in jail right now. I guarantee you that.
I think you're right. You're right about that.
And I think these cops that helped them and had the kids taken by them, they'd be held accountable too, because they
Yes.
fall along the same lines as kidnapping.
Yes, they do. It's called acting in concert.
Yep. See, and this is why we have Herbert, because he knows that law. Herbert is not against us, guys. Herbert has been with us for a long time, starting with Darren. He was brought on the show by his cousin, Dr. Fowler. He has been nothing but a blessing to Dr. Fowler, and she admitted that the other night when she was on. So that goes to tell you how much of what we're talking about that he knows, because he sees what's going on with his cousin. And
Oh, I've
her
actually
granddaughter.
I've actually had telephone conversations with the people in Philadelphia using my title, and I couldn't get anywhere with them.
Mm.
Okay, so it's a rough ride for us as a family to get that granddaughter back. But yeah, because I've spoke to them on the phone. I could say things to them that you as a civilian cannot say.
Right.
Okay, so I went up and down their backside, and I still couldn't. I went to a high level within that department, and I still couldn't get anything accomplished.
That says a lot right there.
Yeah, because my last words to them is, "What are you going to do? Lock me up?" They know they're not going to do that. So, they just gave me a bunch of words.
Yeah, I seen that posted, Debbie. Matter of fact, I seen another case too, um, that was called out. And I seen one today, and I'm not impressed by the way of what this dude said to one of our advocates. And it is very disgusting and disturbing, and this person should be arrested for what he had said. I know Herbert's seen it too, and I know Herbert agrees with that, as well as quite a few other of the advocates that seen that post. To say something like that about a child is highly disgusting and perverted and nasty. You guys don't know what I'm talking about, but Herbert does.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna, put it out there. I'm not that type of person. I just seen it posted, and it was in a private chat, and yeah, no, we are not about that on here. We are not about that whatsoever. We are here fighting for all of us. We are here to get our kids back from the abuse that they're going through being within the system. And there's a lot of us parents that have not done wrong. And CPS just happened to have wandered in on us because they feel that an accusation is all enough means to investigate you. It's an accusation. That would be like me saying, "Hey Herbert, I accuse you of assault." That's an accusation. Or Debbie, you threatened to kill me. That's an accusation, right? And you know, do you have proof of this? Do you have physical knowledge of this? Were you a witness to this? And where is the evidence? Well, I'll put it in layman's terms. There is no evidence, okay, for one. There is no proof, for two. There is no any kind of messagings that they say they have, okay? And there's no corroborating evidence. Plus, this person has a lot of different personalities going on, okay? Do I think my kids were abused by the missus's father? Absolutely. Absolutely. I really think they were. And I think it was all three of them. You know, I was noticing behaviors. I was picking up on behaviors. I don't speak about that too often, but I was noticing the little things. And I noticed that because, you know, for years I lived within a family that we kind of had each other's back. We watched each other.
It works to go back down to virtual level
That's
problem
the
not
way I
taking
see it.
place from world states. Politics has become a fight.
And your mind picks up on little things. You see it with your eyes, and it may take you some time, like me. My thinking is not as fast as some. Like, yes, I was pretty much on, you could say, disability when I was younger because I was ADD and ADHD. Which is, you know, I have one part of me is very low and one part of me is extremely high. And when them two clash, it makes me more like Dr. Jekyll versus Mr. Hyde. One minute I can be my normal self, the next minute I'm high energy. I've learned to embrace that ADD and ADHD in me and made it so it was a neutral party without medication. You have to find that balance within yourself to neutralize that behavior. So if you don't want to be ADHD and ADD, okay, you find a common split in between the two, right? You know, yes, I have depression. And I was just recently diagnosed with anxiety due to CPS. And it states that on my report. Anxiety due to CPS involvement. States it right on my report. I never had
Well, I'm
anxiety at all.
I'm sure that when you went to your medical professionals, they said that you have anxieties, and they started asking you questions about what are you doing on a daily basis? Is it at your job? Are you stressed at your job? Are you stressed at this at home? Is your neighbor stressing you? And you say no, it has to do with my daughter or my children, and blah blah blah. And then they put on the paper it has to do with CPS.
Yep.
See, they don't know. See, your behavior doesn't say CPS. But once you
No.
talk to them, you tell
Yep.
them what things you're dealing with. They say, "Oh, that's what it is. It's
I,
CPS."
I will let you guys in on the biggest secret that I've ever held from this show. I am in counseling. I have been in counseling for a little bit over a year now, working with the same counselor. It took me 3.5 months to warm up to my counselor and to open up to her. Okay, 3.5 months. And now we're at the point where we're finding out how to address why I have buried my emotions deep within me. And she got me to admit that I am more closer with my youngest daughter due to her looking like me, being outdoorsy like me. She likes to get dirty like I do. Um, this kid will go say, "Dad, ATV ride? Let's go." And she'll get on the back of the ATV and want to go for a ride. And I make sure she's got her little helmet on and whatnot. But this kid likes to go for rides. Like she loves it. Um, she likes to get dirty in the mud. I don't. She's like a chip off the old block. I was always the outdoors person in my entire life. I've always been outdoors. Um, I've camped. I've made fires, um, responsibly, obviously. Um, and I've done all of that: hiking, fishing, you name it. I pretty much have done it outside. Um, so I'm very outdoorsy, and she's just like me, and her personality follows my personality. She's kind of silent. Like on here, I talk to you guys because this is my platform where I speak to you guys on my own. With Herbert or Darren or whoever else that comes in. But this is, to me, this is my socializing. Okay, and it's not because I don't like people. It's because I grew up in the 80s. And as you all know, when you grew up in the early 80s, you're either a millennial or a Gen X. Well, I borderline, and that's what I was told by a Gen Xer, quite a few of them, that I borderline between Gen X and millennial because I'm like a month away from that cusp. Um, so I borderline Gen X and millennial. Um, and that has a lot of effect on me because growing up, I didn't have the full father figure that I was supposed to have. I didn't have the mother that I was supposed to have. Us kids grew up on the streets. Okay, it's true when that light came on that on the street pole at 12 o'clock at night, you knew it was time to be home. And we went everywhere on our bikes. I remember me and my cousin going all the way up in New York to Crossgates Mall from Albany to Crossgates. And I'm sure Herbert knows that's quite a bit of a distance to
It's a great
Crossgates Mall.
distance.
Yeah,
Sure.
we
Hey,
traveled on
Vinny,
our bike.
let me ask you this. Tammy made a point to mention that she says that it will get better, but it will not never disappear. Do you find, according to Tammy, it does get a little better, but it doesn't disappear? I mean, it's always
Yeah,
there.
it's always there. It's always at that point. Um, there's days that I feel that the extra it go up a little bit or it might decrease a little bit, but it's all on how you look at it and how you're taking care of yourself. Lately, because I've been drinking healthy and I'm trying to watch the things that I'm consuming into my body, um, due to due to what I've been watching and reading, um, with that, and I'm going to leave it at that. I've been doing healthy drinks with myself. Um, I even been trying this new thing. I don't know if y'all noticed, but my skin is like really shiny. That's why you see the it's shine right here. Um, I've been doing. You take a cucumber and you cut it in half. You put that cucumber in the freezer. Okay. You go up. You wet your face down with warm water, and then you take that cucumber and you rub it on your face, all over your face. Okay. And you leave it on there and let it sit for a little bit. Then you just damp it dry. Notice that I have a brighter tone to me now. So it's all on you. You
And how do
have
you
to
feel?
keep yourself.
How do you feel internally?
I feel really good. I'm not tired. I'm not any of that. Mustafa, how are you, my friend? Welcome.
Hello.
It's good to see you back. But yeah, you guys got got to realize the more junk we put in us, the more our body is aging. Really, the healthier we treat our bodies, the more natural foods that we consume. I'm glad to hear that. How is everything going in your case, Mustafa? Are you getting anywhere? If you need some files or whatever, just let me know, dude. I'm willing to reach out and try to help. Yeah, I'm just exactly. It's exactly where I am. I'm just there in the middle, Tammy. Lauren Wilson, you need help with what, Lauren? What's going on in your side of things?
Can Lauren come on the show and talk to us?
I don't know. You just asked her.
Lauren, would you like to come on and talk to us?
I mean, we got a half hour, guys. So I mean, well, a little over a half hour, about 50
That'd be
minutes.
enough time if she would
Yep.
come on and talk to us. That'd be nice.
Why is it two different chats? It's weird. What do you mean two different chats? What are you seeing that I'm not seeing, Brenda? Because I see the chat up on the screen and then I see the chat on the side. I mean, I see both. I don't know why you're seeing both.
It's the same chat. It's sometimes it gets out of sync, but it's the same chat.
Yeah, sometimes it does get out of sync.
Lauren, are you there? Would you like to come on and talk to us?
Brenda,
Do you think more people should take advantage of seeking counsel and talking to people that are professionals that can help them with dealing with coping with this issue, dealing with CPS? Do
honestly,
you think it's a wise idea? What's your
to
thoughts?
be honest with you, Herbert, you know, my counselor has pushed me to want to do things that I didn't think was possible. Um, she has encouraged me this entire time to become a constitutional attorney. Um, I have looked into it. I'm looking at different classes to see what I could actually do to do that. Um, and I've been highly putting thought into it. So I think that I find myself in a situation where um, if you're willing to talk about it with someone and get some help from somebody, whether it be an attorney, whether it be an advocate, whether it be someone that's actually going to listen and give you the right kind of answers that you need and that you're looking for, um, then yeah, I fully agree that that should be happening. Um,
Hey, Vinny, can you send Candace Edwards the link? She said she'd like to come on.
Candace Edwards. Let me put my email in here, Candace, and I'll have you send me a quick email, and then I can send it to you. I will not drop it in this box. We're not doing that right now. There's my email. Just send me a quick email, and I will get that link right over to you.
So you're not interested in working with someone going through?
There actually, Lauren, there's actually a bill out there right now in Oklahoma, matter of fact, about CPS kidnapping children. There is that bill out there. There's a guy working on it out of Oklahoma, to be exact, and he has the bill all done. And that bill is a powerful bill which states that CPS would be held reliable if they kidnapped your kids. It would be a felony charge, which means they would be sitting in a federal prison. Oh, well, it might come in as that sometimes, due to we share out to many channels, and we also share out to many groups. So there might be some groups in here that are from Maine. There might be some groups in here that are from other states within each group that it goes to. So that would explain why.
But are these groups saying the same stuff? I mean, are they talking to us or
Oh, they
talking to
talk
other
to us.
people?
They
Talking
talk
to
to
each
us
other.
too. Matter of fact, like I've seen quite a few posts under some things. So, um, so yeah, I mean that would be probably why we get tons of feedback too. And I noticed that we're starting to pull a lot more watchers and a lot more people interacting. And Darren's noticed the same thing. So we are picking up a lot of momentum within our streams lately. And I'm just waiting for Candace to send me an email. And I do check my email. It's open right now. I'm watching to see if you do, Candace. And we all went quiet. Sorry about that. I was checking to see.
Yeah, no, I had to talk to somebody. That's why I mute myself. But yeah, I think a lot of people should seek counsel, and the counsel they should seek would be like a psychologist,
And I don't think that.
because the psychologist understands the mind, how the mind works. It doesn't matter whether you're having a dispute and fight with your boyfriend, your husband, your next door neighbor, or your boss. They can work with you so you could work with the situation you're dealing with. And in this case, a lot of people are dealing with CPS issues. So, like I said, see, when you're going, am I right, Vinny? When you're going to an advocate, they're going to try to help you with
Yes.
CPS. They're not helping you with your boyfriend, girlfriend, or husband or wife. They're helping you with CPS. When you go to an attorney, they too are helping you with CPS. When you go to a psychologist, not a psychiatrist, but a psychologist, they're going to help you with your mind because they went to school for years and years and years to understand how the mind works. Like, for example, you're wearing yellow. Your yellow, the fact that you're wearing yellow might set somebody off the deep end. And a psychologist can say, well, something happened into your life that was negative that had to do with yellow. And then that person will think hard and it'll come back that somebody bothered them, abused them, hurt them, or whatever, always wore yellow. And once they come to grips with that, then they can come to grips with what happened with that person hurting them, and they can try to bring some resolution to it. So that way they don't feel upset. I'll give you another for real situation. A friend of mine's got a what do you call it? You know, when you get the dogs from the pound, you call those rescue. Picked up a rescue. And they told me that, oh, it's such a lovely dog. It was so beautiful, so calm, so nice. I said, great. Can I pet it? They said, sure, go and pet him. I went to pet the dog, Vinny. I had a cap on my head like you're wearing right now. That dog tried to bite my fingers off. I was like, whoa. I said, I thought the dog was supposed to be calm. Oh, I forgot to tell you, you can't wear a cap. Why? See, because the dog was abused with somebody with a hat, wearing a cap. So when I took the cap off and I went to pet the dog was okay.
Yeah, but what Herbert's saying is
So see,
certain things may set certain people off. Like, for instance, you could be wearing red and it could set someone off. You know, obviously, bulls don't like the color red. They'll attack you if they see red.
Yes. Yes. So my point is, it could be anything. It could be the way a person looks. It could be anything about a person, and it reminds them of a negative situation, and they'll go off the deep end. But psychologists know that, and they know how to dig into that and help you cope with it.
Yeah.
And for all of us here on the line, we're all dealing with CPS issues. So a psychologist can help us on how to think about it and how to deal with it. So yeah, you're still going through it, but at least it won't affect every second of your day because you'll have a trigger thing that you'll do or say to yourself that can help you ease your mind a little bit.
Mustafa, that is a great question. Let me answer that for you. Okay. Parents do not have to do counseling. They do not have to do anything unless it is court ordered. Unless a judge tells you that you have to take parenting classes, or you have to go see a counselor, or you need to go to have a drug screening, then you don't have to do it. You do not have to abide
That's correct
by what they tell you. Matter of fact, in my own case, I set up my own counseling. I set up my own drug and alcohol assessment for myself. I did my own parenting classes. I did 2 different types, just to prove to them that, you know, I could do it on my own without the help of the state. And I found the people that, you know, will benefit me. And I even got myself a case management worker that helps me with things that I can't get from myself right now. And I meet with her every so often. And she's been also helping me with some paperwork that I needed to do. So it sometimes is a help to have these people, because when you go to court and you have, you know, say your caseworker for case management with you, or you have your counselor there as party to your case because she was the one that you talk to all the time. She understands you, or he understands you. And you have other people there to back that you've done certain things to change any kind of aspect that they may have on you. This actually looks good to a judge to see that you did it on your own without the help of the department. But if you let the caseworker into your files, obviously they're gonna go through what it says, and they're not gonna give you the right information put on that report by them. They're not. I've seen them fabricate it numerous times. I watched the own guardian ad litem in my case fabricate bullshit out of thin air.
Vinny, could I differentiate what I mean by counseling? Because I don't want the audience to get me wrong. When the CPS is telling you counseling, it's because their claims is that you did or didn't do something right with your child and you need to go for counseling. That's their counseling. The counseling I'm referring to is self-counseling. It's for yourself. You go for yourself, for your own sanity counseling, not because CPS.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, go to counseling thing. I'm saying go to counseling because you're losing your mind that you don't have your child. So you need to go speak to somebody to help you pull yourself together. Because or else what happens
but
if it's not helping? If it's not helping, is that happening with some of you? Okay, if it's not happening with most of you, I'm sure it's happening with some of you. When you talk to people about your story, you go into a full loop. You go in circles. You go over it, over it, over it, over it, over it again. You can't find that break in the loop. See, CPS is not concerned about that. But you got to find that break in the loop for yourself. So you don't keep repeating the same thing over and over in your mind, over and over and over in your mind. That's why you need somebody, professional person, that's a psychologist that can help you break that loop. And it doesn't happen overnight. So it takes time. But like Vinny said, it took him 3 months to settle down with his counselor. Am I correct, Vinny?
Yep, that's correct.
So it takes time.
Brenda, to answer your stuff about, CPS comes up with this to share with the judge, often forces this through the case plan. Let me tell you something. Here's the biggest thing about my case. From day one, I never signed a safety plan, for one. From day two, I never signed their actual case plan. So I've never contracted with CPS this entire time. Okay. I've never given them the permission to enter into my stuff lawfully. So if they
You're
pull
welcome,
stuff of
Brenda.
mine and they use my signature, that has now become fraud upon the court. They have fraudulently gone into my bank accounts without a court order, and I have proof of that. Every time they run you through their system, they're also running your credit. They're doing a credit check on you. So you guys need to look at the bigger picture. You really do. If you want to fight your case and you know that in your heart of hearts, like I do, that I am innocent, and you know yourself to be innocent of what heinous charges or heinous things they've said about you, you need to prove that wrong. Step out of that comfort zone and put yourself into your case the right way. Don't go, being belligerent, because that ain't gonna get you nowhere in this world. And I'm starting to learn that myself. It took me some time, but it's not about belligerence. Yes, you can be upset. Yes, you can be stressed. Yes, you have a right to fight back, because you know what? These are our children. They are not CPSs. They are not the government's. We birthed these kids, father and mother alike, because without one, you can't have the other. Sorry, women. That's just the way it works. I mean, you could, but then you're dealing with, having it. Yeah, no, I ain't gonna even get into that bull crap. Okay. Um, but even then, you have fathers that just don't care. Okay. Yes, I know that to be true. there are fathers out there that do not give a shit if they lost their kid or not. Me, on the other hand, I give a fuck, very much so. And the fact that I sit here before all of you guys, knowing what I know, seeing what I see in my case, and what the grounds are they're using against me, no. No. There's no physical proof. There's no evidence. Why the fuck am I sitting in this house day to day to day to day to day for no reason? Because I have spoken my rights from the beginning of this entire case. And they don't like that. One bit.
Vinny, when they say you have to stay in your house, can you stay on your property? In other words, your front yard, your backyard?
I can go within the 2.5 acres of this property, and that is it.
Okay.
Which I know the boundary marks between the property. So
Okay.
I know where I can go on this property. Like if I wanted to go over to my neighbor's house and talk to my neighbor, his garage is on our property. So
Yeah, but
because
you don't
his
have to stay
garage
in
is right, as long as I stay in that part of the garage,
Yeah.
you can't do anything.
Yeah,
So
but
I'm
I'm saying
still
you don't have to
legally
stay
on my
in
property.
the house. You don't have to stay in the
Right.
house. You can go outside and stay on the property.
Yep. Hey, Chris. Actually, I'm probably gonna get off here in the next couple of minutes, anyways, guys. Because I want to go get my tea ready, and relax a little bit before Turn the Page comes on with Kim Page. She's gonna do a show tonight right after me. So at 9 o'clock or so, Kim will be on tonight. She's, I think, gonna have a guest on her show, as far as I know. So I just wanted to throw that out there. She asked me earlier about doing a later show if anyone was on, and I said no one's on tonight. So she's gonna do a show of hers out there tonight. So I just wanted to get that information out to you guys. That make sure you stay tuned for Turn the Page with Kim Page. Of course, I'll be in the back, probably helping host a little bit for her. But I really, the whole thing of tonight's show, guys, is really to kind of set forth a motion for you guys to dig within yourself. Pull out what's in there, what you see. Put your files in front of you on the floor, even if it takes that. Lay them out, spread them out, okay? And start going through your entire file. Even your emails. Go back to your emails. If you sent an email and you didn't screenshot it, screenshot it. It's still evidence. You still can use it. It's proof that what you've been saying the entire time, it's proof that you were putting in your constitutional rights, for that matter. Me, on the other hand, I was doing the total opposite. I was putting in my constitutional rights, followed by the Under Color of Law verse. So I would incorporate these into every single message to make a point. And you guys, when you're dealing with CPS, like Herbert always says, if they don't have a warrant and they don't have a court order, don't answer the door or don't even let them in. You don't have to. You could open that screen door if it's glass and say, you see everything's fine in here, and then shut the door. If they got a warrant or they got a court order in their hand, that's a different story. They give you a time and a place to fight them. They always do. It may not be right then and there or when you want it, and how you want it, but you do get a right to be heard. So just kind of keep that in mind, guys. Mr. Herbert, you want to do last words?
Yes, sure. You basically did my storyline last words. So I'm going to change it up a little bit and say, be careful who you talk to. People, listen carefully. Be careful who you talk to. Because some people don't give a flying grapefruit about your situation. And in actuality, they're happy you're going through it. That's right. They're happy to hear you're suffering. That's right. So choose who you speak to. Be careful who you speak to. Keep your own counsel. That means your friends, they don't need it. They understand. Your enemies, they don't believe it. So why talk about it? Keep it to yourself. Because sometimes people are out there and they mean harm to you. So they like to hear you're having problems and you're suffering and you're going through what you're going through. And behind your back, they're laughing at you talking to their friends about your situation. So why talk to them? That's my last words. In addition to what Vinny said about don't let CPS and the police in your house.
Awesome. Awesome last words. And now we'll start last words for the chat before I say my last words. So everyone in the chat, I would like to hear your last words, as we always do on the show. I like to hear my audience's last words and thoughts. So please feel free to put your last words in there, and I will read them off, or I'll even put them up on the screen. And I'll give you guys a little bit to do so.
That's very nice of you, Vinny.
Well, I mean, I think it helps parents to listen to other parents' stories. Um, and I feel that, it helps get them motivated to go, okay, well, it's time we start looking into things on the deeper end and we start doing some digging. And not only does it do that, but it kind of helps them find a little comfort in knowing that they're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
And Kim kind of pointed that out to me the other day when I was talking to her, that it does help when you have someone that's willing to listen to what you got to say.
Yes, it's true. Let's see. She said, what's this person's name?
Mustafa.
Mustafa. Mustafa.
Mustafa. He's
Yeah,
he's a
Mustafa. I think
follower.
he's trying to say.
He's a follower of mine. Um,
Okay.
and he understands where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
I've heard Mustafa's story a little bit, and I'm
I
hoping to
think
get
he
him.
wrote. Yeah, he wrote, "I find you, bro," but I think he means I feel you. I feel you, bro. And you're talking, feeling the same pain.
Mustafa, one of these nights I'm going to get you on a Saturday to come on my show. So make sure you hit me up with an email. And I will definitely get you on the show next Saturday. I want to get your story out there and kind of, what you're dealing with, what you've got going on, if you're willing to do that.
Okay, Mustafa also says that he says I find my family and parents thank you and waiting something with the host our own show. Maybe waiting for hosting our own show. I appreciate. I believe that's what Mustafa was saying.
You're welcome, man. And
Yeah, I think he wants to
Albie,
host. Mustafa wants to host his own show. That'd be nice. I'll be happy to be in your show or be in the background in your show.
there's always a way to work around CPS bra, bravado. It's policy and regulations. Be confident and true to yourself. Exactly, Albie. Exactly. All right. So, anyone have any last words before we get off here?
Debbie says, keep fighting for your children.
Yep. Debbie said, keep fighting for your children. Good one, Debbie. Anyone else? Tammy did the waves, pink hand wave. I don't know what she's saying there. I will be ready, Vinny and Herbert. I will do my best. I will try to speak out. Awesome, man. Bye, Tammy. Thank you for joining us.
Bye. Take care, Tammy. Have a nice evening.
Albie, any last words from you? I know you're itching to say something. What about you, Miss Newzo? If you're still there. I'm giving you guys a little bit of time because I know I got a couple minutes. So have a good weekend. I definitely will try, man. I definitely will try. You as well. Try to have a good weekend.
What state is Musafo from?
I think he's in Maine.
Maine? Oh, he's up there with
I
you.
think so.
Okay.
Hey, good there. Keep fighting for your children. Amen, Tammy. Amen. Let me get that up there. There you go, guys. That's what Tammy said to you all. Mustafa said to have a good weekend. But all right, guys. Yeah, from Maine. Yeah, I
Okay.
figured he was
It's
from
for me.
Maine.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, I knew
Okay.
it was from Maine because he
Okay.
follows me around. So yeah.
All right.
But all right, guys. I guess there's no other last words. So with that said, we are CPS victims hunting justice. CPS talk with Vinny. I will be back next Saturday. Look forward to Kim Page's show, Turn the Page, which will be on at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So that's the only last show we have for tonight.
Albie says, I wrote it already, but stay strong. Look up your state statutes. The fight you have is the passion that drives families back together.
Amen, Albie. Amen to that. I didn't see it come up, so that's probably why it didn't even show in the chat. And sometimes the chat is like that. It doesn't show you exactly what's said in the box. So that's awesome, Albie. We appreciate you. You, Tammy, everyone that comes to the shows. I know it's a big thing, but we all appreciate our followers, and I hope you guys are sharing and liking and getting us out there. The more we push, the more people are hearing, and that's what we want. We want this to get out there fully, and for us to get notice on what is and light to what's really going on within every state. Yes, there is some parents that do abuse their kids, but there are some parents who are out here fighting either allegations or they, took the kid because they said there wasn't enough food in the home or so on and so forth, or it was messy. You know what gives them that right to judge us on our homes? It does not. They do not have that right.
And it doesn't sound like that. It doesn't sound like the child's in danger.
Right.
Imminent danger. That's, I use the word imminent danger, where it could cause harm to a child just because the house is messy. That doesn't mean that's imminent danger to the child.
Brenda said, fight on. Awesome. All right, guys. Like I said, we are out of here. Stay tuned. Tomorrow night we have Tip and the Punisher at 7 p.m. to 8 o'clock. And then at, I think, 8:30, we have Gunning for CPS with the one and only Mr. Gunner. So make sure you guys are staying tuned to all the shows we got going on during the week. We've opened up the platform to advocates and a few others that have done their shows, like Danielle and Brenda alike. Brenda's got her shows in the mornings. So make sure you're checking everyone out, and that way you can hear all of us that are speaking our voice. So with that said, I hope you all have a great weekend. Stay safe, and do not let CPS in your house without a warrant or an order. Until next time, we are out of here.
Take care. Bye-bye, everybody.
In the heart of our great nation, where the strength of our communities is built upon the foundation of strong and loving families, an urgent crisis is unfolding. Child Protective Services, CPS, an institution designed to safeguard our most vulnerable, has in many cases betrayed its noble mission. Too often, families are torn apart not by neglect or abuse, but by systemic failures and corruption. We can no longer stand idly by as these injustices continue. We are here to give a voice to those who have been isolated, to shine a light on the corruption, and to rally our fellow citizens in this critical fight for justice. Every day, countless families are caught in a web of bureaucracy and abuse of power, their lives disrupted and their bonds shattered. Children, who should be nurtured and protected, are instead placed in situations that can be just as, if not more, harmful than the circumstances from which they were taken. Parents, often bewildered and powerless, face insurmountable odds as they fight to reunite with their children. This is not the America we believe in. We cannot allow these injustices to persist. Our mission is to educate, to inform, and to inspire action. We promise to bring you daily updates on CPS, exposing the truth and fighting for reform. We must remember that the future of our nation depends on the strength and unity of our families. By standing together, we can hold CPS accountable and ensure that it fulfills its true purpose, protecting children and preserving families. This is a fight we must not and will not lose. We are committed to saving our families and securing a brighter future for all. The road ahead is challenging, but with your support, we can make a difference. Together, we will bring hope to those who have lost it and ensure that justice prevails. Let us unite with unwavering resolve and a sense of patriotic duty to safeguard the integrity of our families and the future of our nation.